Brother Yango for recognizing my artwork. However, I really can't claim all the credit. I was somewhat a noted graffiti artist in this town. I'm not extremely proud of that, but I was glad that people took the time and patience and encouraged me to try to use what limited talent I had to do something good. So instead of putting graffiti on buildings and defacing buildings and doing negative messages into a community, it's all about taking that job and that skill and twisting it a little bit and being an asset to the community. And that's why I'm so very happy that we have so many people from all walks of life here. In some cases, maybe an ex-offender, whatever the situation, homeless or whatever. That's just a people's movement, and I'm particularly glad that we have so many young people, such as Sister Wasita's daughter, who's made many of our planning meetings. And that's what this thing is about. We've got to continue this generational process to encourage young people to be a part and cross this threshold and take their rightful place in our community. Having said that, I wasn't much older than Wasita's daughter when this preacher had a very interesting sermon, and as best as I could recollect it, it was sort of two young men that was coming of age, much like teenagers of the day, and once you reach a certain age, you more or less feel as though you know everything. And if somebody's over 30 or 35 years old, you consider them old, they don't know what they're doing. So anyway, the story went on that these two young men wanted to trick the preacher and find out. He said, well, Reverend know everything, so what we're going to do is show him he's not as smart as what he really was. So they proceeded, went to a tree, and they got a little bird out of his nest, and they took the bird, cuffed the bird, put him in his hands, and said, well, what we're going to do is go to the preacher and ask him, is this bird alive or is this bird dead? If the preacher says the bird is alive, we'll crush the bird. We'll crush him with our hands and kill him. And the preacher says he's dead, we'll, of course, open our hands and let him fly off in the preacher's face and get a big laugh out of that. So, sure enough, just like clockwork, the preacher came around the corner and they had the bird. They said, well, Reverend, we want to ask you, is this bird, is this dream in our hands, is it alive or is it dead? And being such a very insightful and profound individual, he said, young man, I can't tell you whether that dream or that bird in your hand is whether it's alive or whether it's dead. But one thing I can tell you is in your hands. And that's all this thing is about. This movement is a generational thing. We can't really predict how these young people are going to embrace Dr. King's vision, but we do have a role to play at this present age, is to constantly, day in, day out, reiterate some of what the messages of our ancestry that got us all here gathered. I'm so happy that Brother Eric came from up the sale world, because everybody has a different thing that brought them out tonight, and I'm just glad to see so many people, races and colors and creeds that's here tonight and is going to join us on Monday. Having said that, I'll turn that back over to my brother, but I used to be an ex-graffiti artist, and I wasn't necessarily a clean artist, so it's a process.
Thank you.